TYC Sports, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz along here with Francis Maxwell.
How you doing?
Francis, our new World Cup expert.
Yes, I'll take it. I mean, you've called me a couple of times, I'll take it.
You're a genius.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Francis played professionally in Scotland.
Yes, sir.
Don't tell me that was only for a brief
I know,
time.
but I don't want people out there saying, "Oh, I've never seen him on TV." Well, there's lower levels.
Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
And 4 years player in college.
Poets, baby.
The Whittier Poets. Okay, good. So we talked about Group A. That's another clip that'll be up there. Group B, Spain,
yes,
maybe the best team in the world.
Yep,
the Netherlands, Australia, and Chile. Who do you like?
Well, it's obviously you're kind of going to go for the holders. Spain, they've the golden generation, as I've mentioned before. They're called. I think that I'm going to have to put them for group winners in this group. They're always strong. There's not in doubt. They've still got.
Brazil just beat them though.
Brazil just beat them in the Confederations Cup, so their morale's a little damaged. But with the quality they
might
pack,
help them.
Yeah, with the quality they pack, I can't see past Spain, to be honest. They have a tough group. Netherlands and Chile, especially. Sorry, Australia. I mean, you guys will just basically have the short end of the stick in this potential group of death. But I think that Spain are my tip for this group. However, when it comes to tip for the tournament, I'm not very sure. I think Brazil might edge it this year, but that's my personal view. Spain, of course. I mean, you can't rule them out. These guys have got more. The trophy cabinet of them is impressive. As I don't know. You can suggest anything. Give me a good metaphor.
For the trophy cabinet, the trophy cabinet is impressive.
Yeah,
so it's like a Ben Mankiewicz trophy cabinet, right? So,
exactly. I mean, that's what it is.
So Spain, the Group A with Brazil and Group B with Spain. These are the two best teams in the world.
Yes, I think so. Yes, Spain, they're a veteran in this competition. They struggled for years. I mean, the fact when they won it in 2010, big party in Spain. I mean, they were just like, oh, this is unbelievable. And then they went on 2012 to win the Euros back to back, and that's why they're considered the best team ever to win this game. But they're aging a little bit. I mean, Xavi, I think he might be 34 now. He's aging a little bit, so they're starting to struggle. Big factor that I must tell you about. And a striker called Diego Costa. I know you fans out there must normally watch the Champions League. He's a big factor in this game. He pledged his allegiance to Spain over Brazil. So, I mean, he's a big factor. That could be a moral victory over Brazil because they were counting on him.
And that's certainly a significant storyline for people to follow.
Exactly. And I mean, in Brazil, he's going to have a target on his back. I mean, if you're a fan, if I'm a Brazilian and he chose me over there, you better believe coins are getting tossed. I mean, sorry about that. I'm not going to try and encourage that, but this is a big factor. I mean, he's...
I love it like that in international football. It's like, whatever. Let's throw stuff at him.
Yeah,
hey, that's the way it goes.
It's a World Cup.
Yeah,
I mean, that happens, yeah. But he got injured. When in Atletico Madrid's title-winning draw with Barcelona, so he may be out. So Spain are like looking.
He may miss the whole tournament.
He's torn his hamstring. I think. I don't know if he's torn it. I think he might have pulled it. He's had a recurrent hamstring problem. So that's a big factor because Spain, you've got Torres who's firing blanks up top, who's not going to perform as much. So they need a striker.
There's been an epidemic of the last 10 or 15 years. It seems epidemic. I'm using that term without any scientific basis, but we see young, really talented, really fast and gifted wide receivers in the National Football League with hamstring injury after hamstring injury. And the soccer players probably relate most to wide receivers, at least the guys in the middle of the field, that they're elite athletes, they are fast. It doesn't seem to me, you mentioned Costa's hamstring, it doesn't seem to me that soccer players somehow are as affected by this as NFL players. Is this happening in international football?
I mean, I can agree, but I have to disagree in some ways because if you're an NFL player, I mean, you're running for how many, like before each play, I mean, I like watching the game, but when it's stop and start, sometimes when coming from a background where you watch soccer, it's just consistent. I mean, 45 minutes, bang, go. So there's a lot of stress on these players to continue to play 45 minutes. So when you're coming back, if you're coming back as a wide receiver, I think you can go in for a couple of plays, maybe put the effort in. But if you're coming back as a striker like Costa, you need to be in for the full time. I mean,
it may well be that the starting and stopping is what causes the injury.
Exactly. Well, that's part of the factors that when they that's what part of the factors people say. But I think Costa. With that being said, I mean, the hamstring, it's happened a few times now, and he's got the Champions League final that he might have to miss, Atletico versus Real Madrid, the biggest, arguably the biggest tournament of all in the big game. So I think that he's going to be distraught about missing that. Maybe his views are going to be on the World Cup coming up. So with that, I think Spain are going to, my pick to go through in this group, but to go the whole way, I don't know.
We'll see. It depends on him. So, and then if one of these teams, Netherlands has been a serious international player for as long as for forever, for 50 years. So do either Chile or Australia have a chance to defeat the Netherlands?
Well, Netherlands, right. I don't mean to steal your metaphors here. I mean, I like to be metaphorical sometimes, but their World Cup run, trying to like gauge their World Cup run is like trying to predict Wayne Rooney's hairline. I mean, I don't know if you know Wayne Rooney, but his hairline goes back and forth.
I got you.
Constantly, right? I mean, so, but with the Netherlands, they seem to, they're like a reality TV show. One tournament they start amazing, they have drama in the camp, and then before you know it, they crumble. They crumble under pressure. 2010 they made it to the final. They managed to hold it together. So I think they look good. And since then, there are two major players in my view, Van Persie and Arjen Robben. They've tasted victory since then. They won the Champions League. Arjen Robben won the Champions League. Van Persie won the Premier League. So they've got a taste for success. So I think they could be a team to go pretty far in this tournament. But I like to base it, as you said at the start, you like to call me an expert. I mean, I'll take it on that opinion. But I know a lot about players, and when I looked at Holland's starting roster, their defence, I could not name a player. I mean, I just looked at them and I was like...
You looked at whose roster?
Like Netherlands, I call them Holland sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, I looked at their starting roster and I couldn't tell who's their defenders. And that's been a big problem with Holland. A lot of nobodies come in. I mean, there might be somebodies in their home league, because I think all but two play in Holland. And it's not a bad league, but it's not anywhere near the English Premier League or the La Liga or the Serie A. So their starting defenders sometimes are very questionable, and that's where their problem lies. That's where their problem lies in this tournament.
If one of those teams could supplant them as the second team to come out of Group B, would it be Australia or Chile?
I mean, there's no chance Australia. I'm sorry.
So Chile.
A lot of people have tipped them to be the underdogs. They've a good player called Alexis Sanchez who plays for Barcelona. He's kind of a poser, kind of similar to Neymar, except he's on and off. So if he's on, they might have a chance. If he's off, then I think that's Chile are off to the races. They're done. I mean, I think Netherlands and Spain are, as I said, I'm a realist. I'm going to go with the two big guns. I mean, there is upsets every year, but with them being very strong and the taste of success that's in amongst that camp, in my view, Arjen Robben is one of the best players in the world. And when he's on form, the Netherlands are going to tick. And I think they always blow teams away in the group stages. So Spain and Netherlands are my pick for Group B, without doubt.